Hello and welcome everyone to today's cloud coaching session. My name is Tara Van Cleve and I'm the Marketing Event Manager for the Developer Initiative here at Oracle. Today we're excited to show you how to get started with building sites using Oracle Content Management. We'll also be recording the session and the link to the recording will be sent to you via email in the next couple of days. If you have any questions during the webinar, we've set up a channel in our developer public Slack called Cloud Coaching North America that you can access at the QR code here or at bit.ly/odevrel_Slack. Once you're in, you'll land in the general channel, and from there you can search for the webinar channel. We'll also be checking the Zoom chat and Zoom Q&A areas, and we'll open up for live Q&A after the demo concludes. Today's webcast will be presented by Cypriya Thirvakadu, Senior Cloud Engineer. So, without further ado, I'll turn to Cypriya.
All right, so let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Cypriya, a Senior Cloud Engineer from the CodeInnovate team. So today what we're going to do is we are going to get started with building sites using Oracle Content Management. At a high level, so this is what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to give you guys an overview about Oracle Content Management, walk you through the console of the Oracle Content Management, as well as show you a quick demonstration. So here, what I'm going to present is that I'm going to build a healthcare portal using the Oracle Content Management, show you how you can use different features within content management in order to build the site using the low-code development platform within the content management, and then walk you guys through the CodeInnovate program and its overview, and then followed by the question and answer. So that being said, let's get started. So all of us have been creating a lot of content, right? So in any organization, you would be building a lot of content. Everyone should be able to create the content, and even the customers, right? So you want the customers to have this authentic information. And then you wanted the video and interactive content, which is extremely critical for any kind of engagement. That being said, let's say if I'm just opening a website, I want to make sure that I keep the audience engaged, for which I need to add a lot of videos and interactive content within the page. And then the content which you offer, it needs to serve each customer the right content at each point on their journey. The content needs to be contextual. And most importantly, it needs to be product related. So if you're having a relative content, right? So you wanted to give the necessary information to the user. So the user doesn't really require to see a lot of information. They want to see the information which is most relevant to them, right? So for which we wanted it more product related. So now let's talk about Oracle Content and its features. So at a high level, we have the Universal Asset Hub. So the Asset Hub is where you're going to store all your content. It could be blogs, it could be media, it could be files, documents, and so on, right? So let's talk about some of its features more in detail. All right. The content management is a multi-channel intelligent content platform. So on the leftmost side, you see there are contributors, digital agencies, content marketers, and users. And on the rightmost side, you see there are audiences, right? So you wanted that level of collaboration between all of these contributors. You need to work more efficiently within and across your teams and streamline the content creation with flagging and approval and publishing the workflows. Right. So you also need like a taxonomy. Taxonomy is where you're having like a hierarchy of categories to organize your content. So here in this content management, we are using taxonomy driven recommendations. And we also do have content infused with artificial intelligence and machine learning. So the AI and ML is being baked inside the content management system. Here you could have like smart tagging, smart authoring, smart search and smart classification kind of capabilities. When I mention smart tagging, it means that AI enhanced image as well as video recognition and NLP for the text is helping you to automatically tag every asset in real time. And smart classification is helping you to suggest different categories for the content based on the artificial intelligence and then NLP algorithms which is being processed. And then we do have smart search capabilities. So let's say we have some content, right? So related to a certain topic, and you just type out a keyword, and you wanted to get a list of keywords with which you can further search, right? So you need that level of visual search capabilities as well as the category filters for you to easily find the content. And then we do have smart authoring. That's where you're able to prescribe the digital assets to the content creators as and when they create the content. So now let's talk about the Universal Asset Hub. So the Universal Asset Hub is where you're going to store all your content in a repository format. So you're not only able to use the content which you're uploading, you can sync it with your local system. So let's say I have all my documents in my content hub. I'm able to store all my documents there. I'm able to sync with my local system and then make some changes to the file in the local system, and it gets automatically reflected onto the content management. At the same time, you also wanted like one centralized hub for you to collaborate between different content management systems. I believe you might be already using Google Hub, so Google Drive or SharePoint or OneDrive and so on, right? Like you could also have something like YouTube, Unsplash, and so on. So you could collaborate all of this. You could sync all these documents, all these files into just one centralized hub. We also do have like extensible translation tooling for you to translate every asset into the respective translation languages which you choose. So we could use like a tool like a Lingotech, wherein you're able to translate these assets into different languages. And then we do have enterprise integration with customer experience. It is helping you to ingest enterprise content like forms, purchase orders, or contracts, invoices, receipts, and so on, right? So you're using the optical character recognition for you to scan all these contents. So let's say I upload my PDF. I can create like a fully indexable file, indexable search, and then search, and I can also create like searchable PDFs so that I can store all of this documents into the business asset repositories. We do have different delivery channels. So let's say I want to publish my content onto a website. I can do that, absolutely. I could also deploy it I could also publish it onto a mobile channel. Or maybe I could also wanted to use within a chatbot, right? So I could deploy my content using a chatbot. So all of this, like I can make this content available using these different channels. And within the content management system itself, it'll enable you to create your own sites. So we do have a site builder within the content management for you to create your own websites onto the content management itself and publish it from the portal by just using the drag and drop functionality within the content management. So not only that, we do have an extensible amount of APIs. Like we do have the content management APIs with which you're able to retrieve the content from the content management and to your existing websites, or if you want to create your own websites as well. And then you could channelize all of these into different recommendations. So let's say EMEA users or NATD users require different types of content to be seen, right? So you could you could recommend these content according to the audiences which you serve. So let's talk about some of these in detail, right? So we do have AI and machine learning algorithms baked inside the system, as I mentioned. So it is helping you to find your content easily, and it is helping you to reuse your content. There is not of much use if you just have the content lying there. You need to make it more searchable, right? So it is helping you provide the smart tagging, classification, search, and authoring capabilities. So we'll see all of this in detail once you see the demonstration. All right. So as I said, like we could connect to your own custom connectors. It is also like helping you to create your own custom contribution, wherein it is providing you editors, forms, and validations for you to like type in your own content and then make it textually more appealing the way you want it. And you could also integrate with different translation toolings. And let's say I have my videos, like I'm uploading my videos, but I probably wanted to crop my video or edit some videos. So within the content management itself, recently we have the source integration available with which you're able to like add subtitles to the videos or edit the video, crop the video, and then publish it onto the web page. So it's giving you like the streamlined process. And not only that, like you can also provide the role-based access. So let's say you wanted the developers to see a certain content, or maybe you wanted certain audience to view a certain content. You could have you can provide different privileges, different access privileges to different users based on the taxonomy and so on. Um, as I said, like you could have like a headless experience wherein you could target the content to the visitors by mapping the user profiles and the behavior of the content attributes. So you not only have like the capability for you to use the drag and drop features, but it is also helping you to use like the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in the background, and then edit that content and still make your own kind of templates and all that available for your audiences. And so this is the site builder capability which I was talking about. You could ingest the content layouts or the layouts by using the pre-built templates, or you could customize your own templates and you could add your own code to the web page. So now it's time to walk you guys through the console so that you can see all of this in action. All right. So if you're familiar with content Oracle Cloud, once you log into the Oracle Cloud, you'll be able to see there is a navigation pane on the top left. Click on the developer services, and this is where you're going to find your content management. Go to the instances and then look up for your instance and then click on open an instance. So this is my instance. I've already opened it just for sake of time. So here we have the portal which is available for us, right? All right. So here you see that there is a home page. You have recent items, learn more, and these are like certain guided tours which you can navigate and then learn. So let's click on the human icon on the top right. You'll see that there is something called as groups. So once the user is being added to the instance, so within the instance itself, you can create your own groups. So here I have like created like two different groups, administrators and developers. For this instance, I'm the only user, but if I have to add like multiple users, I can click on add members and then keep adding the users, give them manager or membership access so that like different users are being given different access privileges. So now that we know about the groups, let's talk about download apps section from here. Let's click on download apps. So as I said, like you can sync the documents from the content management into your local systems, right? So the way you do it is that like you can go to download apps and click on the download button. So currently I'm using Mac, so that's why it automatically detected Mac. But if you're using Windows, iOS, or Android, you can automatically, you'll have a suggestion and you can click on the download button in order to download your Oracle content. So once you download the content and then onto your local system and then like use this URL here, you will be able to see that all of your documents is getting synced into your local asset repository. So let me just minimize this so that I will be able to pull up the screen. So this is the folders which are being synced into my local system. So let me verify if these are the folders which are available here. Let me go to documents, and so as you see that there is like two different folders which are here, and I have synced with my local system. So let me pull up my Oracle content onto my local machine so that you're able to see how it looks like. Okay. So let's click on this and then click on choose folder to sync. I'll click on CI team, and this is the sync cloud folders. Um, I can sync my own documents, or if I want to sync any site assets. So let's say if I wanted to download certain theme and then edit the theme and make it my own, I can just select the asset which I want to sync, and I can sync it to my local asset repository. All right, let me pull this onto my other screen. All right. Okay. So now that we know about documents, here like you can click on share and then share this folder with other members. You could also click on edit links, and you can give like different permissions like downloader, contributor, or viewer access, and then share this document, give a link access code, and so on. You could also like click on the sidebar on the right side, and you could start off a conversation. So let's say it said that like kindly review this folder. I can click on this flag button and then flag others for them to review this folder. So further, I can add some properties and share and all of that. All right, so now let's move to the next topic. So we do have assets. So assets is where like you're going to store different types of content. As you see, there is going to be like images, videos, documents, and so on. Like I can filter based on images or maybe a video or a document. But then like, let's say I want to publish my blog post onto a web page. But how do I do that? What I need to do is I can go ahead and click on create content, click on new content item and select what content I wanted to add. Let's say I want to add a news article. I'm going to add my the author name, let's say date, give a date, and then add some content and images. So as you see here, these are all unstructured data. You have metadata, you have like author name, content, and image. So these are all different types of media which you're going to add, right? So you can create your own blog post and then publish it onto the web page. So these are all like dynamic content which you can make the users available, so that like you're having the latest content available for the users for their you can publish the latest content onto the web page. Instead of you going there and manually editing the web page, you can make this dynamically available to the web pages. Okay, so now that we covered the assets, so this is at a high level. Please don't worry if you don't understand at this time, but we can go into all of this in detail when you see the demonstration. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll go to the system section. You see that there is a lot of information here. You can go to your documents and you can set the number of documents, the size of documents which per user you can give access to. You can set some default quota and maximum retention period and all of that. So you can go ahead and explore these options within the content management. And not only that, you could also integrate with your process automation, and you could integrate with your Visual Builder Cloud Service, Microsoft Outlook, Slack, and so on. You could also have like your own webhooks with which you're able to define your own process trigger, and so on. Here we also have like content connectors. As I said, you could integrate with your Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, and so on, right? So these are all the content creators, content connectors which is available for your use. So now let's go to content. This is one of the most important topics which we'd like to cover. So here, like when I say repository is nothing but it's like a bucket. It's like a big bucket wherein you're storing all your assets needed for your project. So the repository administrators can set up as many repositories as needed for different asset management projects. So within this repository, let's go to one of this repository and you'll see there are different things here. So you do have asset types, publishing channels, taxonomies, languages, translation connectors, and so on. But you see that there are like a bunch of things here. Bio, file, images, and so on, right? So let's go to asset types and then explore a little bit more in detail. So here, let's say I want to create my own news article. So for a news article, which I just showed you in the assets, I can create like a content layout. So this is the asset types which is available. Here I can just drag and drop. Let's say if I want to add like some other content along with this, I can just drag and drop and add the display name and so on. But then I'll go ahead and skip it. You see that I can add like author, set it as a required field. So every time I create a new article, it is going to ask me all of this information. What is author name, date, content, and images, and set some required fields and so on. And the way I publish this article onto the web page can have its own layout, right? So here, like every news article is having this layout with which I'm publishing onto the web page. So I can define like a pre-built default layout, or I could also have like my own layout where I'm publishing my content onto a web page. Okay, so this is about asset types, and then we do have taxonomies. So let's say I have a homepage, and within that homepage, I want to add like specializations, blogs, testimonials, and innovations, and so on. So this is all like the taxonomies which I have defined. Okay, so let's see the end result. What we are going to do now is we're going to work on building a web page together, right? So this is hospital management portal. So this is going to be a fictitious hospital called Care Medical Clinics. So I have created a website for Care Medical Clinics, and this is where I'm going to have all my information. So I can navigate, I can click on this and then navigate within the page. I can click on any button, navigate within the page. Let's say I want to see more information about this blog. I can click on this little icon and then read further about this. And yeah, so I'll have to switch my page. Let me go to my home page. I'll show you how you can create your detailed page. All right, so this is going to be the web page, and I also have something called as patient dashboard. So in this dashboard, what we are having is we are having a list of health cards. On the left side, you see there is a list of health cards, and on the right side, you see that there is the documents which I have specified in the prescription folder, which is available right here. Correct? So let's say I don't choose a profile, so the health cards are not available. However, when I say that the patient with the email Cypria, that means like I'm able to see the cards related to that particular user. So this is like a mock-up of how you can use recommendations and so on. However, in this demonstration, what we are going to do is we are going to work on building this web page together. All right. So now what we'll do is we do have, let me show you another feature before we could get started. So here is a developer's page. So when you click on the site templates, you see that there are different templates which are available. You can use like some pre-built templates, or you could like create right from the scratch using a blank template. And here we do have some themes, and then we have some components. So let's say I wanted to display my content onto the web page, the content type onto the web page, I could use like a content layout. So for which I can click on create and then create my own content layout and so on. So let's get started with building the site so that everything will start making more sense. All right, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and then create a site. So here I have already imported a site template for the purpose of this demonstration. So that is a blank site underscore demo template. I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to create my own repository. So let's create my own repository. All right, so let's say OCM repo is what I'm going to create. And then I'm going to add some assets here, asset types here. That is like, I want to add some bio file. Maybe I want to also add some images. I want to add some news articles, some story, like this is the SE2 story is a custom defined one. That's the layout which I've defined, but we can talk about a little bit more in detail. And then specialization, and then testimonial, and then videos. Okay. These are all the asset types which I'm adding. Let me just skip adding the taxonomy for now. And then we do have like additional languages which I want to use, or content connectors which I want to use. I'll just go ahead and click on save. So here, like, you'll also define the localization policy. We'll keep everything default and go to the next. Let's say OCM demo site. So I'm going to create like a demonstration site. I'm going to, let's say, duplicate assets is fine. Let's click on finish. Okay. So now it is creating an OCM demonstration site. So now we'll go to recommendations. What we are going to do here is that in the OCM repo site, right, I'm going to create a recommendation saying profile, user profile. Okay. User profile can be the recommendation name, and then content type, I'm going to select, let's say bio. So bio is a content type which I've already created, where I'm going to store my insurance card information, right? So, and then I want to channelize this channel into my OCM demo site, which I created. So automatically it got populated. I'm going to select the same channel. And if I want to add some fallback assets, I can do that. I can click on create here. Okay. So let's say email ID. I'm just going to add an email address here as a rule. And then let's say email address is equal to, here, like, you have different types of attributes. You do have audience attribute. So when I meant audience attribute is nothing but they are what the recommendations use to find and display the personalized content. Here we'll go ahead and create a custom attribute for the logged in user, right? So like in case if you want to add your own custom session attribute, you can pick like a city name, continent code, and all of that. Like, so this is automatically being picked. But here we are going to add a session attribute. And in that, we do have a session attribute called as patient email. So this is the audience attribute which I'm adding. And then I'll go ahead and click on save. So before I could save, I'll just click on like apply. And then I'm going to select this email address, and I see that this test worked. But when I just remove this email address and then add it, that means like you're not able to see the content for that particular user. So let's go ahead and then switch to our site builder. Let's go to the sites page, and then we'll see if the site has been created or not. Looks like the site has been created. So this is going to be like absolutely blank template. So the way you get started is that you click on edit, and then you can create your own updates. So each one of you within your team, whoever wants to add some updates, you can absolutely work on different pages and then collaborate all of these pages together. So whoever has developer access onto this page, you will be able to work on creating an update and then merging that update once it has been reviewed. Okay, so here what we are going to do is, so this is going to be like a blank template, right? On the left side, you see there is a navigation. What we're doing here is that we will go ahead and then create a component group. So a component group is like you're combining different components together, you're grouping different components together. So here we do have a component group, and this is where like I'm going to add my own header color. So let's say I'm going to go to settings, and on the right side it populates, and then click on more, and then add the color, the hash value of the color. So here, okay. Yeah. So now that we got this component group updated, so now what we'll do is we need to add a logo, right? So let's go ahead and add the logo. We'll click on the documents. Either you can pick from here, or I did have all my assets, all the images stored here. I'm going to add a logo. So that's what we in the first page you have seen that that's how it looked like, right? So I'm going to add some alignment here, and then add I'm going to set some width, let's say 200, and I'm going to give some spacings here. Uh, uh, so let's say 1.2 can be here, and then I'm going to add some padding. So as you see that it's very simple, right? For adding this code, it might take a while for you to add using the regular HTML or JavaScript, but this is going to be super simple for you. Let me just go ahead and then see if I can add navigation. So I'm going to add a navigation on the right side. So automatically this nav menu got added. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it right aligned. Um, so once I have this right aligned, I can further add the width and all of that. So the header alignment, let me go ahead and then check what we can give. Let me see here. I'll just go ahead and then copy paste some of the values I have. All right. So this is the spacing which we got. All right. So now that you wanted to make this content reusable. So the way you do it is that you select this component group, and then you go ahead and then save this component group. So you're making it reusable, right? So let's say I'm going to write a demo header. Okay. So this is automatically being saved. So if I want to create my own another page, I can just drag and drop the demo header component. It's right here. So the demo header component, so that like I can just reuse this. All right. So now the next thing which I want to do is I would like to add a footer, right? So for the footer, I'm going to add a component group again. Let's go ahead and add a component group, and then click on settings. And then let's say I'm going to select I'm going to add the hash value, and then I'm going to add an image here. Okay, so I can select the image from here. Let's say this one, and then I want to make it left aligned so that it is all intact. And then let me see if I can set some width. So width is 300, everything looks fine. And then I'm going to add some padding values here. You see how quickly we are making the header and the footer of this page. All right. So the next thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to add a social bar where I can add the Facebook, LinkedIn, and all of those links. So I can click here and then go to icons. Maybe I wanted to skip using Google plus icon. I can just remove it. I can add my own URL here. Let's say this one, and then go here and then add my own, probably a different LinkedIn profile. Let's say I have my LinkedIn profile within oracle.com. All right, so this is how I'm going to add my own social bar here. I'll go ahead and then click on save. So now that we have a header and a footer, so I want to make this both reusable. So I'm going to save this component group as, let's say, demo footer. Okay, so now that I have my header and a footer, now we'll add a body to this, right? So we can go to components on the left side, and then I can drag and drop some slots here. Let's say, let me go ahead and add a component group first. Okay. Component group. Okay, in that I'm going to add like 2 slots, like I'm going to add 2 columns here. And once I add 2 columns, I'm going to fill up this component with the picture background image, right? So let me select the background image. And then probably I wanted to center it out a little bit and then make it fit exactly, right? Oh, probably I'll just stretch it, right? So this looks nice. Okay. So let me just go ahead and then add some spacing to this, right? Um, okay. So I'll go to custom settings, and I can also set the column width. Here I'm going to add like 40, 55, 1023 as the responsive break behavior. And I want to hide the second column. Probably I hide the first column, right? Hide the first column whenever like I'm compressing the page, and then show the content needed. And then let's go here, and then I'll just go ahead and click on title and then drag and drop the title here. Um, let's say I'm going to add some title here. Um, and then let's go ahead and then update some information here. Yes. I'm going to add some padding. Okay. The next part, which I'm going to do is I'm going to add a paragraph. Here, I'm going to add the paragraph here, and then add the top as well as bottom values for padding. Okay, I'll then save. So you see that we have created a header and this page as well. So let's say if I wanted to view this page, I can click on this icon, click on preview configured assets, and then preview this page. So my web page looks like this now. Okay, looks perfect, right? So now what I'll do is I'm going to add a component group. So every time I add a component group, it's easier for me to reuse, right? So that's why I'm just creating a component group. And then I'll just type in title here. Okay, the title could be maybe like you wanted navigation, right, within the page. So let's say I wanted to point it to the specialization or anything like that, I can do it. So now let's add a slot. So I'm just going to add a slot here, and then like select 3 columns. Um, go to the first column and set some settings here. Maybe the first column can be 10 and the last column can be 10%, and the middle column can have all the images with the buttons and so on. So let me go ahead and add some images here. Okay. Fairly straightforward, right? Let's click on this button, and then I'm going to go to my folder. I'm going to select this image, and then I'm going to add some properties to this image. So here I wanted to reduce the width. So let me just make it center aligned and then set the width. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is this all looks fine. I'll go ahead and add another image here. Let's select this next one. I'll go to the documents and then add the next image. All right, so now I'll go ahead and click on copy style here. Once I click on copy style, I'm able to paste the style. I don't really need to like configure it each time. I can literally copy and paste the style. Go to documents and then select the speaker icon here and then paste style. Simple, right? Let's click on the documents again and then select the testimonials. All right. So now we have completed all of this in like less than 15 minutes. That's awesome. All right, so now the next thing which I want to add is the buttons. Maybe I can use this for the navigation. The first button can be specialization, and then I'll make it center aligned, and then set the top as this, and bottom can be the same. So I'm going to add like 4 different buttons, and this can be blog. Okay, I'm going to add another button. Okay, this should go below the image. Okay, health talks. Health talks, and then I'll add another button. Testimonials. Okay, so this all looks doesn't look equal. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and click on copy style, and then simple paste style. This is awesome, right? I've created a button, created a proper UI, and we are ready to link within the page. So probably I'll just keep the spacer as is. I can literally add a spacer here and then add my next component. So this is very interesting, right? So next one, which I'm going to add is another component group, but this is going to be like a one-time task. I'm going to then repeat the same thing again and again. So the next one, which I want to show is like when I click on specialization, it needs to navigate me to the specialization page. So let me select this and then copy the color, which I have here. Let me go ahead and then paste the color here. And then add the title. Specialization. And then add the next one, which I'm going to add is the content list. So the content list is where I'm going to display the specializations list. So before I could show you how I've done this, let's go back to your assets. So now that like what we have initially done is we went ahead and we went to repositories. So in the repositories, what we have done is we have created an asset type called as specialization. So within that specialization, it had the specialization names. So here we do have the specializations like cardiology, emergency care, and so on, right? So what I've done is I've created a specialization name here. And then in the assets, I went ahead and created the specialization. Click on new content and then select specialization, click OK. Let's type in a new specialization, mental health, right? So maybe mental health can be a specialization. Then I need to add it to a certain channel. Okay. And then click on save. So I'm creating a content item called as specialization. Okay. As you remember that we did not add the text taxonomy to the repository, we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go to the repositories and then go to your OCM repository and then add the taxonomy called homepage. Okay. So once we do that, we will now be able to categorize it further in detail, right? So we just added the mental health specialization here. We'll see if it reflects onto the web page. Let's go back to your site. And in here, I'm going to go to settings and then select the content type as specialization. And so here you'll not be able to see the specialization. I'll tell you why. So the reason being, we do not have a detailed page for this specialization. We'll go here and then click on this plus page and create a new page. So this page is like, we'll go ahead and create specialization page, and then we will hide it from the navigation and then make it as a detail page. As I said, like you can literally go to your component and then drag and drop your header. Let's say demo header, and then demo footer. For now, we'll leave it as is and then click on save. Okay. By the way, we are going to hide this. Click on settings here and then hide this page from navigation. Yeah, hide this page from navigation. Okay. Let's refresh this page. Okay, now that the new page is gone, like you can just see the home page. Let's go back to the main page and see. You see the list of specializations here, right? So automatically, we just added the mental health. So automatically it got added here. Now we'll go to settings, and we don't want this to occupy so much space. So maybe we can just make it as 3-column, right? So this looks good. So the next one which we want to add is for the blocks, right? So for the block section, we can go back here and then click on component group, and then probably select some properties here. So the property for this blog, let me just pick the color here. Click OK, and then add the title. So the title is blogs. Okay. The next one which I want to add is content list. Content list is I want to display all the blog articles here. So the way I do it is I click on content type, and then I want to display the blog articles, right? So I click on SE2 story, and I can see the list of blogs. But then I see all of the blogs, but I don't see only related blogs to the, like only the blog post. We do have something related to innovation as well. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and then select the category. In this, probably I'll just select. I'll just save it, and then let's refresh this page. Okay. So if you remember, we just added the taxonomies, right? So you want to categorize this taxonomies. You can see everything. So for you to categorize it, what we'll do now is that let's select these, maybe only the blog articles, right? So let's pick only the blog articles, 1, and then 2, and then 3. Okay. So now we'll click on the sidebar, go to categories, and then add a category here. Here, this is supposed to be a blog. So I'm going to just add it as a blog and add it as a category. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll just refresh this page, and then we'll try adding the blog, only the blog articles here. Sorry. Let's go to our page, our OCM demo site, and then now add the blog. Edit, go to our update, and then just categorize it here. Select the category, and then select the blogs. Okay. Okay. Save. So looks like, so those blogs were not added properly. Let's go ahead and then add them. Let's go to categories and select blogs. Okay, so only one category was added. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and then add these blogs. Add a category, select it as a blog, and then We'll go to the next one. This is already a blog. Okay, so we now have 2 blog articles, and we'll see if it is reflecting here. Now we just added a blog article here. Automatically, these 2 blog articles are being reflected here. Settings, and then we can make it as horizontal so that it doesn't occupy much space. Okay, so as you see, like this is going to be repetitive content. So I'm just going to save it as blogs, demo -blogs. Let me just repeat the same thing, right? So I'm just going to go here and then add like my own content group, component group as like blog, demo blogs, right? And then change it up a little bit. So instead of this categories, I'm going to select something which is not categorized. Maybe this. Okay. Okay, so I can further display it, right? So right now we'll go ahead and then go to our options here and then select this, this, and this. Okay, and then add it as a category. Okay. Now we'll select the category here and then select innovations, click OK. As you see here, it's very intuitive, right? Okay. So further, like you can add like certain detail page, you can add navigation between the page and so on. So at a high level, this is going to be how we are going to create our own web pages. So with the interest of time, what we'll do is we'll go ahead with the how about the Code Innovate program, and then I'll wait for you guys to ask any questions if any. So let's talk about the Code Innovate program. Before I could get started and talk about this program, let me tell you a short story. So here we have these kids who go on a fun trip to Legoland. One thing which they enjoy the most is the Master Builder class. As you can see here, the boy is being given a disassembled Lego pieces. If you see here, these kids build these cute little penguins without much instructions from the instructor. So at the end of the program, these guys were able to create this together, right? So that is what, in a simplest form, the Code Innovate is all about. So here, you are getting a hands-on experience on the Oracle Cloud services. Just the way we presented the product right now, right? The content management product right now. Similarly, you can leverage your own use cases and then bring your use cases together, and we'll build the first pass prototype together along with you guys. So it's not just going to be your team who is going to build it. It's going to be the Oracle team along with your team who is going to collaborate and build this use case together. So it is absolutely free of cost. And this event is going to be for about 5 business days, 5 half days, so that you could leverage this program and then make the best use of it in order to accelerate your journey within the Oracle Cloud. So as I said, like you can bring your own use cases. You will have a rapid amount of knowledge sharing. That is, when you spend like 4 hours each day with the Oracle engineer, you will get to know a lot about the best practices and how you can use these products more efficiently, right? And you could build your first pass prototype in these 5 business days. So you could either email us here, or you could send out your emails email IDs within your chat window in the Zoom chat session right now, and we will contact you after the session.
Thank you again. We hope to see you again next time.